The pitches aren't great at all. It holds up, the ball barely bounces, and it's tough on the knees as well. Hopefully it's something that someone will look at going into the World Cup next year. Meanwhile, PSG's coach Luis Enrique said this about rabbits.
A mí me importa el estado del terreno de juego. Y lo digo hoy que ganamos. O sea, esto dista mucho de los estados del terreno de juego en Europa. Mucho. Están bien, pero el balón bota como si fuera un conejo y hoy, por ejemplo, al ser un campo artificial anteriormente y ahora es un campo de césped natural, se tiene que regar a mano, lo han regado al descanso, pero el campo se seca a los 10 minutos. Para nuestro juego es un problema, claro, no lo vamos a poner como excusa, lo digo hoy que hemos ganado, pero es un problema, no puedes jugar al nivel que tú quieres y creo que esto es una cosa que FIFA sí que tiene que tener en cuenta, no solo el estado del terreno de los estadios, sino el de los campos de entrenamiento, porque si pretendemos que sea la mejor competición del mundo, no me imagino una cancha de la NBA con agujeros, no me la imagino, pues nosotros jugamos en estadios en los que el balón parece más un conejo que un balón. A nosotros nos perjudica, a otros les puede beneficiar.
Oh, NBA Finals, there's some holes in the court. I think entertaining. Rob, are you hearing similar things from Manchester City?
No, I mean, to be honest, they haven't been talking about the pitches too much. I mean, in terms of conditions for City, it's been all about the heat. And, you know, we've just heard Pep Guardiola in his press conference there talking about the heat, you know, the trouble of playing at 3 o'clock in the afternoon in Orlando. They played their last game in Atlanta in an air-conditioned stadium at 9 o'clock. He was talking about how the rhythm of that game was an awful lot quicker than their first game, which was at 12 o'clock in Philadelphia. He's told the fans that are coming here tomorrow to bring lots of water, bring their hats, bring towels for their necks because it's going to be so hot. It's going to impact his team selection. So the conditions certainly are playing a part. I know some of the other teams have talked about the ball and the pitches, all things that are going to need to be sorted out before the World Cup comes here in the year. But for City, the main topic really has been about the heat and what it's going to be like playing Juventus here tomorrow.
Mario, I suppose people who play amateur football every week will say, boo-hoo, look at the state of the pitches that we have to play on. Adapt your game. You're supposed to be the best in the world. Get on with it.
I understand that, Dan, and I knew that question was going to come. But you have to also look, we all started there. Now we are professional footballers. We expect the way City plays, the way Real Madrid plays, the way PSG plays. They don't play with football with the ball being through the air. It's all on the floor. So if, you know, the ball, if the way they pass and the rhythm of the play, if it affects, because that clearly does, the way the pitch is, it doesn't help them. So that's why they're going to talk about that. And then they have two battles now. They have the weather and they have the field. Look, if you have one, the weather, everybody has that. But then the field almost becomes an individual for them because it's so advanced to them. The ones who are playing against them and have a bad field, they don't care because it slows them down, so it's more advantage to them. So for me, I don't want him, of course, not to focus on the field, but it's clearly something that's definitely going to disturb them if they want to move forward. And I hope they can take care of that, and that's just the way it's always been, I think, in MLS at certain places. But Atlanta, definitely, of course. I played in Qatar. One stadium we had AC. I had the best game of my life. And the rest, with the heat, was difficult. I can tell you, difficult.
Stevie, talk to us about the difference this makes.
It's chalk and cheese. You know, the best side are the ones that will be affected the most. You know, at the end, if I'm coaching against PSG, I'm telling my players to stick the ball in behind every single time. Don't get caught with it, try to knock it around the back. Stick it in behind and then get on top of them. And then it becomes a physical game as opposed to a game of football. And I love how FIFA just keep turning around saying, don't worry, it'll be sorted. Absolute nonsense. How are they going to sort it? Because they're only going to play in 80,000 seat stadiums and the majority of them have got artificial turf. So they've got no choice.
They've got some experts coming, gardening experts.
Yeah, that'll be. I will believe that when I see it, Dan. I've been hearing this since I came to this country in '98 about how they're going to do this and do that. I mean, it's not going to happen. So I tell you, the players better get used to it because when the World Cup comes around, we're still going to be talking about pitches that the ball doesn't bounce.
To your point, Stevie, this is not a new problem. This is not a new issue here in the United States. It's been going on forever. The difference is that these teams that come usually for preseason competitions or games, friendlies here in the United States, They play in that particular stadium with that bad pitch, with that bad feel, and then they move on and go on to the other stadium. They're not actually participating and hanging around long enough to say, wait a minute, we're still playing on this? This is still the training facility? This is still the surface that we're going to play in? And so now it becomes an issue. Why does it become an issue? Because this is a competition that FIFA is putting out there as a big deal. It's supposed to be a big deal. Well, if it is a big deal, one of the things that you have to make a priority is field conditions. It's a bare minimum. This should be immaculate surfaces because it is indeed the standard that FIFA should set. Only an issue here. And while it's not necessarily a FIFA tournament, it's a CONMEBOL tournament, if we go back a year ago in Copa America, we were having the same discussion. We were having the discussion about SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, that the dimensions were not what they needed to be, that the conditions of the field was not what it needed to be. We were having the same discussion about AT&T Stadium in Dallas, that the surface was not what it needed to be, that the ball is not bouncing the way that it should. Why am I bringing the stadiums up? Because if you spin it forward now a year, these are stadiums that will host important matches in the World Cup.
They're going to get it fixed, Stanley, don't worry.
And in the biggest stage, in the biggest stage, in the most important sporting event in the world, we're concerned about what the field conditions are going to be. I'll take it a step further. The final of the World Cup is at MetLife in New York. Artificial turf. So you're going to have to lay the sod on top of it. It's the same conversation that we're having about all these other stadiums. So I'm not an agronomist. I'm not an expert on grass. I don't know how it grows and what it does and what you need.
And a watermus?
Oh my God. An agronomist. In any case, I do not have a handle for all of this. But what I would say is that most of the stadiums that we're talking about are American football stadiums. The NFL season is over for most teams, and certainly for my Dallas Cowboys, ahead of February. We're not making it to the Super Bowl. And so once the season is over, and you are FIFA, and you're thinking about how are you going to make this better, again, I'm not an expert, but you got to rip up the turf. You got to take the turf out, and then you got to do the layers that you need to do in order to provide the actual surface that is required for these fields to feel like a natural surface. You bring the sod in, and then you allow the springtime for this grass to settle. Now, I'm just thinking logically. I don't know how much this is going to cost. I don't know. Again, I'm no expert. But if you want this to feel like natural grass, you got to get rid of the turf underneath it.
Way too sensible, Ali. You're forgetting one very important thing.
No.
The bottom line.
Oh, no, but FIFA got loads
Taking
of
away
money.
the bottom line by doing what Ali said isn't going to happen.